If you ever dove into Zen or spirituality in general to discover the inner realms of consciousness, you definitely ran into a very prominent figure in bringing Eastern philosophy and spirituality to the West throughout the internet. He has a very eloquent voice and enticing presence that is none other than Alan Watts. I get many opinions throughout the day on TikTok or Instagram about Alan Watts being an enlightened genius. Or not at all. Quite the opposite. Now, these claims of him being enlightened usually come from when he was a heavy drinker, during his later years in life, or incorrect topics about Buddhism, for example. I always have one guy in the comments telling me that Alan Watts' interpretation of being one with the universe, being like everything is connected, and he's saying Buddhist views imply void and emptiness compared to being connected to everything. You see, Alan Watts was a firm believer that the interconnectedness of all things and the void were the same thing initially. Anyways, I'm here to break down whether Alan Watts was truly an enlightened person or not. Now, to understand this, we must get to his early years in development. Alan Watts was a British-American philosopher, writer, and speaker who brought Eastern philosophy and spirituality to the West. Born in, I might butcher this, Chislehurst, England, being a smart child at a young age, intrigued his interest in learning spirituality and intellectual pursuits within his life. When Alan Watts started to learn Eastern philosophies at the University of London, especially Taoism and Zen Buddhism, he brought these views to a Western audience, which then transcribed to books, lectures, and radio broadcasts that would turn him into a well-known figure in the counterculture movement of the 1960s. He then moved to USA in the 1930s, making that a very important moment in his life. Alan Watts' bridging between of Eastern to Western philosophy made him a recognizable speaker and author. Through his captivating voice and thought-provoking lectures, spiking quote eloquently, helping to simplify complex Eastern concepts and brought them to a wider audience within the West. Some of his most recognizable works are The Way of Zen, The Wisdom of Insecurity, and the book on the taboo against knowing who you are. Paved the way of international acclaim for him through eloquent teachings of the nature of existence, consciousness, and the human experience. Alan Watts helped open people's eyes to question social norms and to look within and let people embark on a journey of self-discovery. He encouraged people to live within the present, shatter illusions, and find a deeper connection with the world around them and within themselves. His legacy revolves around the countless recordings, writings, and continual influence through his teachings on contemporary psychology, philosophy, and spiritual experience. Alan Watts' legacy greatly lives on through his great catalog of work, inspiring countless others to dive into the teachings of spirituality, philosophy, and personal growth. His understanding to shape old ancient wisdom into modern-day poetical teachings has left a great understanding on ourselves within, our existence, and the interconnectedness of the whole universe. Now that the little biography is over, I'm going to give my opinions. These are my opinions only, so these aren't facts, these are just my opinions. And what I think on the topic, personally. So the impression I get from Alan Watts, although he was an alcoholic in his later years, that doesn't limit the ability to obtain spiritual wisdom. In the modern world, we can say Alan Watts wasn't enlightened because he was an alcoholic. An enlightened person would never do such things like that. Truthfully, like many enlightened individuals, it is not fully based on their living circumstances. We have teachers, for example, like J. Krishnamurti, Mooji, Osho, who demonstrated all different ways to enlightenment. Even Buddhism and Hinduism, different structures incorporated to demonstrate how to become enlightened. Although some may disagree, Hinduism and Buddhism are different. Nirvana, which is nothing, the pure void, the blowing out of a candle, is not the same from moksha, which is freedom or liberation. My point of view is saying you can live a different lifestyle as long as you're practicing meditation, compassion, and understanding inner wisdom to live a prosperous life. Plus, the way Alan Watts was able to demonstrate such profound wisdom in poetic and intriguing ways proves to me that he is enlightened. He had a great realization through discovering the inner depths of his consciousness and understanding the human psyche. For example, Alan Watts quoted, "There are some places that seem to, through collective upsurging in creative joy, find the way to spot outside of time, and from there send waves rippling up against the shores of our own slices of the here and now. A quote that gives me chills just to interpret and makes me feel profound within. His creative and artistic ability to put spirituality and poetic insight hand in hand is astonishing to me. I don't think he just read spirituality, but definitely incorporated into his life as well. So here is my second reason. Reason number 2. Maybe possibly Alan Watts fell off of the spiritual path. In my personal experiences, when I'm not practicing mindfulness, compassion, or inward reflection on myself, our egos manifest in different ways to harness control at any given moment. Oh, I haven't been meditating enough? The ego will just kind of slip its way and believing you are stuck in a way and wanting to give into material, physical, or any external pleasure it can conjure up. Which is why we must be aware at all times. What our energy levels are indicating within. What kind of emotions are we feeling? We must take daily practice and keep our minds pure and clear as possible in order to live a fulfilling life that meets and lives up to our values. So Alan Watts, possibly his ego got in the way and he started drinking again. Although it seems like it was his choice all along. Even from a young age, he was a heavy smoker and he enjoyed it very much. But possibly, who really knows? Or who really understands? Our opinions and different constructs we can accompany by never lead to a fulfilled answer. Many people say Alan Watts is enlightened. Many say he isn't. Only Alan Watts ever truly understood from his experience and involvement of life through his inner awareness. I think personally Alan Watts is enlightened and decided just to live his own life on his own terms. If you agree or disagree, I'd love to hear your takes on why he isn't or he is. I'd love to get new views on this topic. Let me know in the comment section below. Here is reason number 3. Alan Watts never said he was enlightened. In fact, all he ever said was he was an entertainer. And Alan Watts never said he was enlightened. This was only ever up for speculation. In fact, all he said he ever was philosophical entertainer. So this whole time, along the way, people just came along and decided if Alan Watts was enlightened or not. Even though he never claimed it at all through his entertainment years, I think he just wanted to help other people find peace within, and I understand that. I get that, which is a respectable thing to do. People want to help people. And I think that's what truly matters in the end. Alan Watts brought along a meditation organization and helped people find peace within, teaching these spiritual teachings through Buddhism, Vedanta, Hinduism, etc. These were all Eastern teachings brought into the West. During a time when it wasn't really accessible with the internet we have nowadays. In fact, I don't even think they had the internet back then, like especially during the 60s when this all blew up. Anyways, that's my whole take on this topic. If you have, like I said before, if you have any questions or concerns or you agree or disagree, I'd love to hear your opinions and your takes in the comment section below. I'm really intrigued what people have to say about this. So, thank you for watching. Have an enlightening day. Meditate. Do whatever. Keep your mind clear and nice. I'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching. As you can see, I'm working very hard video editing. I'd really appreciate it if you donated to my Patreon. It'll basically help me pay the bills and help upgrade my video content to the best of its ability for you guys, so I can continue on for you. Also, there are many benefits that I can do to pay you back through phone calls, asking me questions, texting me, and so on through my Patreon. I'd really appreciate it if you did. Thanks for watching and have a great night or day.